5 NCAA championship teams, 294 individual national champs, and counting. Who's next? Make the PSAC yours. PSAC Proud is winning in athletics and in the classroom. Over 3,100 PSAC student athletes are honored as scholar athletes. It's a perfect mix of athletics and academics. It's time to make the PSAC yours.
A safe, quality ride. That's the E.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Hearst is home. It's more than just a phrase, it's a way of life. At Mercyhurst University, home is where you pursue your passions, work through challenges, find support, share laughs, and make memories that last a lifetime. We provide our students with generous scholarships, hands-on classroom experiences, and long-standing traditions, creating a foundation for success beyond our gates. Find your home at Mercyhurst University. Hearst is home. It's more than just a phrase, it's a way of life. At Mercyhurst University, home is where you pursue your passions, work through challenges, find support, share laughs, and make memories that last a lifetime. We provide our students with generous scholarships, hands-on classroom experiences, and long-standing traditions, creating a foundation for success beyond our gates. Find your home at Mercyhurst University.
A safe, quality ride. That's the E.
I'm Cole Caulfield, and I played college hockey.
I'm Adam Fox, and I played college hockey.
I'm Jake Gensel, and I played college hockey.
I'm Johnny Gaudreau, and I played college hockey.
Whether you are a fan or a player, nothing compares to college hockey.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Hearst is home. It's more than just a phrase, it's a way of life. At Mercyhurst University, home is where you pursue your passions, work through challenges, find support, share laughs, and make memories that last a lifetime. We provide our students with generous scholarships, hands-on classroom experiences, and long-standing traditions, creating a foundation for success beyond our gates. Find your home at Mercyhurst University.
Getting you to where you need to be. That's the E.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
It's time to make the PSAC yours. More than 7,500 student athletes working to become champions in 23 championship sports at 18 universities, educating more than 118,000 students, and supported by an alumni base of over 900,000. All in and all ready to make the PSAC yours. It's the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference.
Good afternoon, beautiful people, and welcome to The Roost, the infamous Irish pub on the campus of Mercyhurst University. I am the host of the inaugural episode of Laker Talk. It's the show where I will be bringing in guests from the Mercyhurst Athletics family to talk about all things sports. Today I have some very special guests, including the men's bowling coach Mike Machuga, the wrestling coach Mike Whaler, cross-country runner Alec Bidwell, and my first guest of the day, coming off a win in the PSAC quarterfinals yesterday, head coach of the women's soccer team, Rich Wall. Rich Wall, thank you so much for being here, Rich.
Thanks for having me, Tim.
It was a 2-1 win over Seton Hill yesterday that has thrusted you into the PSAC semifinal game that will take place on Friday against Westchester. But before we get to that game, let's talk about yesterday. The team netted a first half goal before going up 2-0, but Seton Hill just wouldn't go away. They scored just a minute later, making it 2-1, keeping themselves in the game. It was a little bit different than the other two games in the regular season. What made it that?
Yeah, I mean, we expected a fight, you know. We knew going up against an opponent for the third time in 3 months, it's always a challenge. Seton Hill's had a great season under our first-year coach as well, and if you look at their first half to second half of the season, they were much improved, and we saw that yesterday. You know, I was proud of the way we fought, got the result at the end of the day. Would have liked to have kept a clean sheet, but, you know, it's survive and advance time for us right now.
So last season, the team got to this point. It was the PSAC semifinal game. It was against Westchester. They were not able to pick up the win. They were shut out. And less than 2 months later, you were hired as head coach. What is going to change this year to not allow history to repeat itself?
I think we've already started to change a little bit of our history, right? You know, we played Bloomsburg early in the season. We hadn't beat them since 2015. Had lost to them in semifinal rounds previously. You know, Gannon, we hadn't won at Gannon since 2006, according to the research, right? And so we went down there and we changed a little bit of that history. Got the regular season sweep against them. You know, so I think we've been doing things little by little to improve our confidence. So I think going into this game, we've got to be confident. We got to have, you know, full belief that we can get the job done. You know, and then, you know, kind of like yesterday, we had a couple lucky bounces that went our way, and we're going to need that as well.
So Corinne Morgan, who is really one of the fastest players in the conference, leads the team in goals and in points this season. What sort of an impact has she made now in her freshman season?
I mean, she's been electric, right? So I think it's not just Corinne, it's our entire attack. You know, we go with speed. So whether it's Corinne, Kara, Vanessa off the bench, Becca's given us a boost at times too off the bench. You know, our wide midfielders, Tegan and Maddie Hoover, we can hit from a lot of different angles. And so when you look at Corinne's stat line, yeah, she's getting into great position. She's scoring a lot of great goals, you know, and has gotten a lot of our first goals of games as well. So she's a bit of that tone setter. But it's the players around her as well that are getting her the ball in those dangerous areas. And so we can't overlook the team concept of how, Corinne has been dangerous, yes, but it's the entire team in the attack. And that's why we've scored 50-plus goals already.
Yeah, so to go with those 50-plus goals, in the regular season, it was a team that only allowed 9 goals, and that comes with some really experienced defenders in Taryn Baxter, Alyssa Poleski, Chloe Kalina in the midfield, and Maddie Elbro, of course, as the keeper. How has that experience played a factor in not allowing only 10 goals in the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, they've been phenomenal. Maddie Elbro, I think she's the best goalkeeper in the country. I tell her that every day, so hopefully she believes it. Taryn Baxter is obviously a great leader in the back for us. Mason Anthony is somebody that we converted from a forward to a defender, and she's been phenomenal in that role. AP, coming back from injury, I think 2 years ago, she's solidified herself at right back. Anna Marie, she's come in and done a great job at left back. But, there have been players along the way, such as like Emily Ehrman was starting in the beginning of the year. Full confidence in her. Saf has made a few starts lately. Full confidence in her. Anna Badar stepped in when Taryn was out for a couple games, including the Gannon game at home just 2 weeks ago. So it's the strength in numbers mantra. We live and breathe it every day. Next man up mentality. And so we're blessed to have that, that strength in the back. And then, like you mentioned, Chloe, Mia as well as her deputy kind of in defensive midfielder. Emily Neenan just yesterday as a true freshman getting thrown into a game where she hadn't played in probably 2 or 3 games. And so it's not just the back line. It's not just the goalkeeper. Again, it's everyone.
Yeah, strength in numbers is really something that me and you have talked about all season with this team. You've had over 30 players on the field in total. Almost half of those players have a goal on the season. Is that something that you expect to carry you through this postseason?
This is a time of year where you might need an unsung hero, and I think we've got that in large quantity, as you just mentioned. We can put 11 different goal scorers on the field. Well, 10, but I think Maddie Elbro could do it if we put her in the box in a pinch situation. So, we're blessed, right? We've got a lot of players that are playing with confidence and bravery, and like I said, that's what's going to take at the next level here.
What has it been like to coach this team in your first season at Mercyhurst? You've had some really great success. You currently have the second most wins by a coach in their first season. In program history, what does that mean to you?
I mean, from day one, they've been phenomenal to work with. Just kind of hitting the ground running when we got here in January. I'm sure they didn't like doing 6 a.m.s 3 days a week, off campus, but we did it, and we went up against 5 Division Is in the spring, and they took it all in stride, in complete honesty, and total buy-in from day one. The incomers as well getting here this fall, 6 of which we didn't even recruit as our staff, but we've just been able to integrate everybody. I think everybody knows what the expectations are. Our next team goal that we want to accomplish is reaching the final, because we haven't done that in recent history. So we've got 90 minutes. We're bought in. The girls are fantastic, and so we're hoping to get it done.
Yeah, the team has not made the PSAC championship game since 2008, and it was the last time that the school won the championship as well. But you have a very big task ahead in front of you, and that's Westchester, who won the PSAC last year. What have you seen from their game that makes them so dominant in previous years?
They're just good. Front to back, they're a solid team. Obviously, they had a fantastic run a season ago. Maybe results haven't been quite as strong this year. I think they're maybe 12-3-3 right now, whereas they were 23-1-1 or whatever a year ago, and obviously put a mark on us in the semifinals. So, I think the biggest thing for us is, again, we have to kind of go back and focus on us. I think that's kind of been our mantra as well in training, is we worry about ourselves. We don't fear anybody, right? That's why we played the 5 Division Is in the spring. That's why we played Ball State in preseason. So that when we get into these types of games, it's not going to be too big for us. Whether we play well or not is kind of beside the point. We're not going to be afraid of it, though.
Yeah. When I talked to you yesterday before the game, your one word looking into PSAC playoffs for your first time was excitement. You're anxious, but in a good way. Is that still how you feel today?
100%. Again, I think we're at the point in the season now where you've got to be excited. I think yesterday was probably the game that I was most nervous about, just kind of making sure we didn't have that letdown. And, I think on paper the top 4 teams from, both sides combined have made it to this point. And so, now it's just about, all right, where are we at? Who are we? What are we going to be in the semifinals? And so I think I'm more excited now just to kind of get that opportunity to, whether it's get revenge from a season ago or, overcome some adversity, get over that hump to get to a final. I think I'm more excited about that, whereas I was probably a little bit more nervous yesterday, but just pure excitement at this point going forward.
Coach, thank you so much for coming on the show. Congratulations on the win yesterday. Make sure to catch the women's soccer team in action against Westchester at Kutztown this Friday in the PSAC semifinals. Start time is at 3 o'clock.
Hearst is home. It's more than just a phrase. It's a way of life. At Mercyhurst University, home is where you pursue your passions, work through challenges, find support, share laughs, and make memories that last a lifetime. We provide our students with generous scholarships, hands-on classroom experiences, and long-standing traditions, creating a foundation for success beyond our gates. Find your home at Mercyhurst University.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Roost on the campus of Mercyhurst University. My next guest today will be the head coach of the bowling team here at Mercyhurst, Coach Mike Machuga. Mike, thank you so much for coming on the show.
All right, thank you for me.
So bowling came off of their first East Coast Conference tournament championship last season in their first national tournament appearance. What was that season like for you as a coach?
From year one, from the start of the program, it was kind of all about last season. And our goal was to win the ECC. We actually had a pretty good chance the year before. Kind of got to where we wanted to be even faster than what we had imagined. So last year it all coming together and we really got hot down the stretch. So finally winning the conference championship and going to the national tournament was really special.
Yeah, so last season included some really good milestones for you, but this last weekend, another one. You recorded the 200th win in program history in the Niagara Falls Classic last weekend. How good of a feeling is that for you?
That was one of the more intense matches. It was against Niagara, who basically used to be the old Medaille before they shut it down, and the coach and I think 8 of the players went to Niagara. And Medaille was kind of a rival for us. They've always had a good program. There's always really good matches between us. Coach Jeff Walsh and I, we got a little bit of a rivalry. It's a good friendship, but it's a good rivalry. And after the match, I kind of got in his ear and let him know. I said, "Hey, that was number 200," and he kind of gave me the good job. But it helps me reflect on where we started. The first tournament, Youngstown State, the first year. I remember walking in and competition starting thinking, my goodness, am I ever going to win a match? And we got that first win, and I actually like to walk outside, and I think I shed a tear a little bit. And, now we are here, at the top 16 program in the country, starting from zero. And, reflect back, 200 sounds like a lot, but I know we got a long way to go.
A major factor in the team's success recently is the new assistant coach, Haley Euchre. She bowled a perfect 300 last year, something that I've only seen done on Wii Bowling before. So now she's an assistant coach. What is it like to have her around?
There's a lot of stats in bowling, little things that we keep track of, and Haley is also a stat junkie. So to be able during competition to keep track of things makes it a lot easier. But through her career, she was always paying attention. She's a lefty, so knowing that she wanted to get into coaching, she had to start kind of paying attention to how I did things and how we get lined up and looking at the other side of the lane and how quickly it transitions. And she learned really, really well. So when you're managing, 5 players competing, 6-ball arsenals, grip issues, blah, 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 blah. It's always, nice to have that extra set of eyes in there and another opinion. But she's doing really well as getting involved as a coach both fundamentally and day to day at a tournament. So really looking forward to seeing her growth, and then of course bringing on Samantha Strebel next year.
Yeah, Samantha Strebel, I wanted to talk about, a consistent veteran for this team. What have you seen from her so far this year?
Early struggles, that she did some experiments with her grip, and things didn't work out. We're still kind of experimenting with that, but went back to her old specs, and this last weekend she had one of the best tournaments of her career. I think she averaged 21.4 pins per frame and 27 out of 28 single pins, which is huge. We talk about spare shooting and how the pins build up, and she had one of her best performances of her career, and now we're just kind of getting started.
So Strebel, Euchre, some veterans on this team and on the coaching staff as well. Let's talk about some of the newcomers to this team. How have they stepped up and replaced the production that you lost last year?
Yeah, redshirt Mel Roberts, finally getting to compete for us, is basically the best strike ball on the team so far. She's doing really well, kind of getting acclimated to college bowling, college team bowling, and is doing real well. And Carly Mitchell, pleasant surprise. She was a late sign for us. So coming in and first week out on the lane, she wins the ECC Rookie of the Week, and has been a big part of what we got going on so far.
So I was told to ask about the Machuga flop on the PBA Tour. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, just a little something that I kind of started as a kid, watching my dad and Bob Montgomery locally do it, just being, just kind of being goofballs. And I started doing it when I started bowling competitively as an adult, kind of to celebrate the end of a good week or something like that. And then it's kind of became my celebration for a win. So I always said that my first chance to do it on the PBA Tour, I would, and got to do it live on ESPN. And the girls were sure to say, hey, when are you going to teach us how to do that? And I said, I'll tell you what, if you win the ECC, I'll go for a dive. And, I'm very thankful for that opportunity, and I think I still might be feeling a little bit.
Yeah. So what was that moment like for you?
That's what we worked for. That was our goal. And, because I've done the flop so many times and they talked about it so much that it was finally just throw a T-shirt on over your suit and tie and go for a ride down the lane. That's a special feeling for me, and I'm glad I got to do it actually for them.
So Mercyhurst has a new men's bowling club program. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, anxious, nervous, starting another program from zero, but really excited. I love to coach. I love to teach bowling, and I'm a competitor. I'll compete on pretty much anything. If there's something that, hey, is there going to be a winner here? I want to be involved, and really excited to get the first team started. And I have some goals of becoming a national contender.
Yeah. Well, I wish you best of luck with that, and I congratulate you on your 200th program win as well as the East Coast Conference Tournament Championship. The bowling team travels to Buffalo, New York this weekend in the Damon Storm Fall Classic. Stay tuned because our next guest coming up will be the head coach of the Mercyhurst wrestling team, Mike Whaler. Mike Machuga, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Getting you to where you need to be. That's the E.
It's time to make the PSAC yours. More than 7,500 student athletes working to become champions in 23 championship sports at 18 universities, educating more than 118,000 students, and supported by an alumni base of over 900,000. All in and all ready to make the PSAC yours. It's the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference.
Welcome back to Laker Talk. Here we are inside the Roost, the infamous Irish pub on the campus of Mercyhurst University. It's episode 1. We've had some really good guests so far. The Mercyhurst women's soccer coach, Rich Wall, and the bowling coach, Mike Machuga. And now we go from one Mike to another. It's the Mercyhurst wrestling head coach, Mike Whaler. Coach Whaler, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So starting off the season with the number 2 ranked West Liberty at home this Thursday in the season opener, what does that matchup with such a good team right off the bat provide for the team, and how will that help them prepare for later on in the season?
Well, it's a tremendous challenge right off the get-go. Last year we wrestled the University of Indianapolis, who I think they're 2-3, something like that at the time. So I do like starting out with such a strong program because it's a great test for our guys, and it kind of lets us know where we are and how far we got to go towards the end, and it's just a good measuring stick. We're going to see those guys again later in the season and the postseason, hopefully. So it's just a good measuring stick early.
The wrestling team returns a pair of freshman All-Americans, including Jake Niffenegger, who was a freshman year All-American last year. And the year before that, it was Dylan Walker. How will the team rely on them this season?
We're going to rely on those guys tremendously, but also some other guys that are returning. We need more than just 2 guys to kind of guide us here. But both those guys had tremendous careers thus far. They're still young, but we're going to need some of our older guys like Max Stediford, and we got some good young guys in there as well that I'm hoping can make an impact right away.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about next. Along with some of those key returners that you mentioned, a lot of first-year guys, whether they're freshmen, whether they're transfers, who are some of those key guys from that first-year group?
All of them. We'll see them compete for the first time on Thursday in a Mercyhurst singlet. So I'm excited to see, you see them in practice, you see them train, but I'm excited to see them actually compete and see kind of where they're at developmentally. We have some high hopes for some of these guys, so it's really just exciting.
Yeah. Is it difficult to kind of bring in a larger group of first-year guys into an already established team? Is that difficult for you as a coach to integrate them at all?
Not necessarily to integrate them. It's just difficult to get a read without things are going to have to develop. If you return a lot of guys, you have a lot more known qualities in your team. But with us, we have so many newer faces that we're not really sure. And they're guys we believe in. That part is I'm pretty confident in. But you just kind of got to see them. The good news is with a younger group, they're going to grow together over the next couple of years. So I'm looking forward to that. But we do have some freshmen I think could make an impact right away.
So I talked to you a couple of weeks ago about Kyle Greenwald, the new assistant coach on the team. It's the first time you've had a true assistant coach, and you mentioned how nice it was that he was able to help out with the recruiting and how passionate he was about the program. How has it been for you coming into the first match of the year?
Oh, he's been great. He's somebody he can run a room really well. He trains the guys really well. He's got a good relationship with them. He's very detail oriented. When it comes to technique, so I appreciate that part too, but he's just been a tremendous asset for us.
So with a strong mix of older guys, younger guys, leadership is important from yourself as well as Kyle. How important is it from some of the older guys and established guys on this Mercyhurst squad?
They're going to have to set the tone for sure, but I think we have the right guys to do that. Trevor Began's been to the national tournament before. He's our senior in the lineup. Likely probably be the only senior in the lineup. So we're counting on him. And then we do have some young guys that have had success already. So it's really going to be a group effort. It's not going to be one guy. We need all of us. We're young. There's going to be ups and downs along the way. So we really need everybody.
Last season, myself, you, our SID, Jesse Hall, sat down in the Athletic Center. We discussed how to create a better atmosphere for the wrestling events. What is it about creating that sort of electric environment that just makes Mercyhurst wrestling a true spectacle?
Well, guys want to compete in front of a fun crowd, and we've been able to create an environment where the crowds come out and they're loud and they create a nice environment to compete in front of, and I think it brings out the best in our guys. So I'm looking forward to Thursday. We're giving out some hot dogs. We got a little basket raffle here, so all the students out there, come on out, be loud. But it's just been a fun environment, especially coming off of COVID, where you're playing so many empty gyms and everything's quiet. You can hear your opponent breathing heavy, and it's just fun to be back in environments with some electricity.
So when I talked to you a couple of weeks ago, you said that you had wrestled in some really nice places during your career. You wrestled at Lock Haven, wrestled all throughout your life basically to that point. How has your career in wrestling helped you become a coach?
I think you get to meet a lot of different people, and you get to see a lot of different personalities, a lot of different styles that have success, and it kind of gives you a lot of knowledge to think back on. Like, I can kind of take a guy and be like, oh, he's similar to him, and this worked with him, from a guy that I coached a long time ago. So I think just having some background knowledge and some background experience that you're able to connect success with a kid, be like, hey, I remember this guy was here right where you are at this time, and this is where he ended up. And it kind of just, I think it helps connect some success with some kids early.
Yeah, so we are just 2 days away now from the season opener here at home. How are you feeling? Are you excited? Are you nervous for this new season?
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. I keep thinking it's Wednesday, but I guess it's only Tuesday, so we got to wait 2 more days here. But I can't wait. West Liberty has a fantastic program. They're ranked number 2. They got a returning NCAA champ on their team. They got a couple other All-Americans. I can't wait to see our guys go after them.
The wrestling team has their home opener in just 2 days, as we mentioned. It's this Thursday at 7 o'clock in the prime time slot inside the Mercyhurst Athletic Center. Make sure to come by and check out the best environment in the PSAC. Next up is one of our most decorated runners in cross-country history, Alec Bidwell. Coach Whaler, thank you so much for coming on. I'm looking forward to this Thursday.
Thank you, buddy.
And passion drives the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. From 55 NCAA championship teams, 294 individual national champs, and counting. Who's next? Make the PSAC yours. PSAC Proud is winning in athletics and in the classroom. Over 3,100 PSAC student athletes are honored as scholar athletes. It's a perfect mix of athletics and academics. It's time to make the PSAC yours.
A safe, quality ride. That's the E.
Welcome back to Laker Talk here at Mercyhurst University inside the Roost. We just got off with head coach of the wrestling team, Mike Whaler, and now we are bringing on one of the most decorated runners in cross-country history, Alec Bidwell. Alec, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for the opportunity.
So you were twice named an all-conference honoree in 2022 and then in 2023, while being just the second Laker named to an all-region team, doing so this year. What has your success over your career here at Mercyhurst meant to you?
It's meant a lot. When I first came in, the coach told me, yeah, you might be number 5, you might be number 6, battling to be on the first team. And I just kind of said in my head, no, I'm not. So I just kind of worked really hard from there on out. And at the end of my freshman year was unfortunately COVID. But my coach and I kind of talked about, hey, maybe you got a shot at going to nationals here if you really work hard. So it's cross-country is a different sport than it is for most other sports. You keep stacking seasons. It's not you come in every season and just get good at one season and you kind of have a little outro. Like cross-country is you have to keep stacking year after year of mileage and training blocks to get to the level of competitiveness that I have achieved. So it's just been a real great opportunity to work with Coach Mike and I to just get to that level and to can say that I've achieved the stuff I have.
So what are some of those key factors in your training that has helped you from where you were freshman year to where you are now?
A lot of successful lifting successful training blocks. Like I said earlier, you have to keep stacking training blocks, not getting injured and stuff like that. Just doing things smart. And a lot of it's also mentality. Cross country, I'd say, is probably about 80% mentality, about 20% strength, and whatever else you do. So that mentality goes a long way. I would want to say I didn't have the best mindset going into it last year, kind of not sure what's going to happen, not confident about my races. But this year I went into it with, I'm going to succeed, I'm going to play this, I'm going to do this, and I feel like it helped me a lot more than it has.
So you set a lot of school records during your years here in the 10K and the regional championships and your time in the 8K at Lock Haven Invitational. How have you seen that progression kind of pay off for you other than in those awards? And you talked about, obviously, the mental side of it, the physical side of it. How have you seen yourself progress over your years here at Mercyhurst?
Yeah, like I said here, the first year, my freshman year, I wasn't even close to anywhere that I am now. And then even just last year, I was low 26s, high 25s for my PR. I just completely skipped the whole 25-minute PR range. So it's just been a real great opportunity to kind of just see my hard work finally paying off after 3 years of just consistent running and consistently hard training. I didn't even know I was really going to break the PR in that race. Coach and I just kind of said, hey, just go for it. We're going to train through this race. Because at the end of the day, we're training for regionals because that was my main goal. Was to go to nationals this year. So our coach kind of just said, hey, we're going to train through this. Like, we're going to have a really hard long run, and then we're going to have a couple of hard workouts leading up to this race. So whatever happens, happens. And I came through the line, and coach came up to me and said, well, didn't expect that, but you did it. So kind of the same thing with PSACs being the all-conference. We just kind of said, hey, I mean, we got 2 weeks, 3 weeks out from our regional race, so we're just going to train through this race. Just have confidence in your training block, and we'll get you all conference, but I'm not going to promise you anything higher than that because we're training for the regional race.
So you've had, as we said, a lot of success. Is there any standout moment from any of those individual races, any of those achievements throughout your career that really stand out as one of your favorites?
I'd probably say the 8K record because we obviously train for the 10K, but that we only won one race with that. We can't find any 10Ks around the United States. Just it's one race at the end of the year. So the 8K we race all year long, so it's kind of cool to see my name in the record books for a little bit until somebody else comes along and might take it from me.
So how have you seen the program grow since you've came to Mercyhurst, and what sort of mark have you been able to leave now in your older years and your upperclassmen years?
COVID was kind of diminishing for us because, we all came in not sure if we were going to have a season, not sure we were going to have anything. And then it kind of just kept building of like the people who were seniors during that time and juniors during that time were like, okay, I'm checked out. Like I didn't really want to do this. So we had to just buy in, me and my other teammate, Ethan Chadbourne. We had to just step up and be the leaders and be like, hey, we still want to do this. We still want to be good. And I think that's the mentality that we're leaving with our coming up juniors and seniors this next year.
So you mentioned that your standing as a freshman much different than it is today. What's one piece of advice, not just for runners, but for anybody in any sport that kind of come in and feel like they couldn't be a key factor their freshman year?
I came from a small town. I wasn't even sure I was going to run in college. So just the I can do it mentality probably would go a long way. Just for any other sports too, that's the no one's going to beat me. No one's going to be better than me, and if they're going to beat me, they're going to have to work hard for it. So that's the mentality I'd leave.
I congratulate you on all of your success throughout your career at Mercyhurst, and I thank you for coming on the show today.
Appreciate it.
That is it for episode 1 of Laker Talk. We will return next week with some more very special guests from the Mercyhurst Athletics family. But for now, I'm